Hello everybody, and today we are going to talk about how to fill out a form Schedule C. Now this video is specific for 1099 miscellaneous employers, gig workers, people like that, who are trying to apply for the Paycheck Protection Program but are unable to because for some reason the SBA decided they don't want to accept 1099s for this round. So they are requiring you to fill out this dreaded Schedule C. So we're going to go over how to fill out the Schedule C. Now, keep in mind, I am not a lawyer. I am not an SBA employee. I am not an accountant. I do own my own limited liability company, so I do have familiarity with what is on this Schedule C and what is needed, but I am not a professional. Please, please, please consult a professional for any additional questions or any in-depth understanding of this form. I am going to run you through what I know, what I figure the SBA will need, but please always double check, and the SBA is good about getting back to you if they need something. So if you need additional information, they will always reach out. All right, let's go ahead and get started. First thing you're going to need is your form from the IRS, your Schedule C form. Go ahead, print that out. You can fill it out online. Sometimes it's just easier to handwrite it first. You will also need instructions for your Schedule C. This form here will have, and it's numerous pages long, and if you see me looking off behind the camera, I'm looking at my computer that's behind here because I ran out of paper and all the forms didn't print. Go figure. So I'm just looking at the rest of the forms on my computer. But this document here is many pages. For some reason, something popped up. Many pages. So I wouldn't advise printing it, but if you want it, you can print it, but it gives you detailed instructions on anything that you might need clarity on. So keep that in mind. All right, let's go ahead and get started. With your Schedule C, I have highlighted the things that are most important that need to be filled out on this Schedule C. And if you are a sole proprietor, an LLC, or an S-Corp, and you have not familiarized yourself with this form, Uncle Sam's going to be coming for you, honey. That's all I got to say about that. All right. Your name. Name of the proprietor is your name. Your social security number. Your business, principal business, or profession. And that brings us to the instructions. On the instructions, A and B are kind of tied together. On the instructions, you are going to need to have a code that describes your business. For example, let's just look at some of the codes here real quick. One of them that I found that should work for a lot of people, where is it? It's under Performing Arts, Spectator Sports, and Related Industries. Most people, I'm assuming, who are gig workers are going to fit under Independent Artists, Writers, and Performers, code 711510. Please verify that. Please look at the instructions and just see if you can find a better fit for yourself. Don't take that code and just write it on your form because I said so. Look at the directions and see if you can find a code that fits your industry a little bit better. And you will write that description here, and then you'll write that code behind it. Simple as that. All right. Everything else. Business name. If you have a band name, go ahead, throw that in there. If not, it's all right. You will not have an employer identification number in EIN because you are a 1099 worker. Don't worry about that. Business address, most of you are going to use your home address because if you're a gig worker, paper delivery person, Uber, Lyft, whatnot, you don't have an office. You operate out of your home. Accounting method most likely won't apply because you don't do a ton of accounting. And letters A through J, most of these should be filled out. Look in the directions if you have any specific questions regarding these. Did you materially participate in the operation of the business during 2020? Yes. If you have a 1099, yes, you participated. If you started or acquired the business during 2020, check here. Just ignore that. Leave that blank. Did you make any payments in 2020 that would require you to file Form 1099? Most likely not. If you did, you'll know. Did you pay somebody to do something for you? And did you pay them more than $500? If you did, then you would fill out a Form 1099, but most of you that won't even apply to. And then if yes, will you fill out the required Form 1099? Won't even apply, so just leave it blank. All right, here comes the fun part. Income, your gross receipt or sales. Take all your 1099s, add them together, plop that in line 1. Disregard these red marks. I was doing another video with those, and I didn't print out another one because, as I said, ran out of paper. Lucky me. So, take all your 1099s, add them together, plop that number there. You will not probably have any returns or allowances. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about line 3. Don't worry about line 4. That's for businesses that make stuff. Line 5 is your gross profit. Just bring line 1 down to line 5. And then bring line 5 down to line 7, because that will be your gross income. They just ask on line 6 if you have any other business income, which most of you would not have. The benefit of filling out a form Schedule C, for those of you who are a 1099, are that you can deduct some expenses. So, for example, if your band advertises, you can deduct advertising expenses. If you have a car or truck that you use in transportation, you can deduct expenses, or you can deduct mileage, and we'll talk about that momentarily. There's a whole bunch of stuff here that you can deduct if you fill out this form Schedule C. Yes, I know it costs a few more dollars, but you can deduct more, which in turn will save you more money. So, good thing to consider. So, once you get on line 7, if you don't have anything to deduct, and I'm going over filling out this whole form. I know most of us are going to go for line 7 here, the gross amount, when applying for our PPP. But to fill out the entirety of the form, just so it actually looks authentic and it looks like you actually tried, this would be a good idea. But any expenses you have, you can put in there. Tentative profit or loss from line 7. Line 7 minus any of these down here on line 29. And then if you have any expenses for business use of your home, most of the stuff don't worry about. Like I said, we're going for the gross profit up here because, or the gross profit, gross income. It used to be you had to go for your net income. Now you can go for your gross. So long story short, don't worry about most of this. This would be your net profit down here. And then flipping over, cost of goods sold, don't worry about that. You don't make anything as a gig worker. Typically, gig workers provide services, which is awesome. Thank you very much. You're appreciated. And the last part, information on your vehicle. If you are Uber, Lyft, paper delivery, deliver anything, you can deduct your mileage in here. And I don't know what the current mileage rate is because my business is now virtual. I've gone online during the pandemic, so I don't know what the current mileage rate is, but last time I was out and about, I think it was like 54.4 cents per mile. Adds up to a lot. And when all of that adds up, that's money that's subtracted from your gross, so that means you don't have to pay taxes on all of that money that you get from mileage. So consider filling this form out in your tax return. This is very valuable, and it can save you a lot of income tax that you would normally pay, which would probably pay for the cost of this form. Just saying. Fill that out if you haven't. And just fill it out in its entirety for the PPP, just so you can get an idea of what you might actually save in taxes. So, that being said, I hope this video provided at least some basic information for you on how to fill out a Schedule C. Please subscribe and put any comments down in the section down below. Any comments, any questions, anything that you might need, and I will try to help clarify and try to help people fill this form out, because I do want people to get what they deserve. And with that being said, I hope you found this information helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.